the Heron Heads podcast. My name is Julio, and I'm joined today by some friends and fellow Inter Miami fans, Dave, Chris, and Jose. And on behalf of the guys, we want to thank you for joining us for episode 23 here on the Heron Heads podcast, your first place for all things Inter Miami. In today's episode, we will be discussing the upcoming U.S. Open Cup final between Inter Miami and the Houston Dynamo on Wednesday. And for those of you watching on YouTube, thanks for stopping by, and make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons if you're enjoying the show. Wanted to give a huge shout out to our chief Heron Head, Matias. Thank you so much for your generous support. Additionally, thank you to our other Heron Heads, Art, Brian, Kevin, James, and Karen. If you feel so inclined to support us on Patreon, you will find a link in the description wherever you are listening. And if you don't feel so inclined, that's totally okay too. We appreciate you being here. So let's talk about this match coming up, a final. It's our second chance at hardware for the season. Chris, what's your confidence level heading into this match?
Confidence level is pretty high right now. Obviously, we had a few things to look at, right? And we're going to talk about it a little bit going forward. Is Messi going to play? Is he going to start? News is right now that he will most likely play. They don't know if he's going to start, when he's going to sub in. So that's really the biggest question mark as far as my confidence level goes. But regardless, my confidence level is still pretty high, even if he doesn't start. If you look at this team, they're a pretty average team. There's nothing special about these guys. They have a pretty nice attack. They have a few guys that could do some damage in the attack. So our defense may have a little trouble with them, but I still don't see much going on there. So confidence level is high. I think even without Messi, the other guys up front, Facu could probably turn this defense into Swiss cheese up there and get a couple goals in there. So I think we're looking good. I think we're looking at our second trophy in tomorrow in 2 days.
My confidence level is sky high. I feel like this game, I don't want to be overconfident, but this game is in the bag. I think that we're gonna be quite dominant from start to finish in this one. I do believe Messi will get the start. I think there's a lot of mystery, and they're shrouding their play on this one. But I think that Messi gets the start. I think we're gonna get Facu in there. I think we're gonna get Campana going. I think we're gonna have plenty of options in the attack. And a big reason why I feel so confident is I know we're going to get Messi back. I know we're going to get Busquets back. And on top of that, we have the outstanding play of our new young players. And it feels like everything's starting to come together now with this club. And if we can get our older guys some rest like we have, we should be seeing some fresh legs out there. And I think that we're going to take the wind out of the Dynamo's sails. And it's going to be masterclass.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped. I'm actually going to the game. I just threw it in. Who you were gonna ask me about it later? No, let's talk about it. I'm really pumped. I'm excited about it. I kind of do expect us to be there with my phone out and then looking at the trophy being raised and saying, look, I'm looking at Messi raising another trophy, and I'm very excited. I'm happy about that. I do expect him, like David said, to win. Yes, but also to see Messi play because he's played 36 minutes in 19 days. I mean, how much rest can you get? But yeah, and I do think this was the reason for it. They wanted to get another trophy. You need the second trophy to get the treble. So this is the way.
Yeah, no doubt in my mind that everything leading up to the Orlando match, Messi coming out early against Toronto, it was all in preparation for this final on Wednesday. You know, there have been a lot of questions, a lot of unknown swirling around the club, specifically with the big three. And we're gonna find out a lot of information over the next 24 hours. But I'm with you, Dave. I think Messi starts. I think there's no doubt that Busquets probably plays all 90 minutes. The one that has the biggest question mark is Alba, because it seemed that he actually injured himself in the game against Toronto. It seemed like he was icing his leg pretty good while he was on the bench. Messi just seemed like he was being really precautious, and I think that bodes well for us heading into this match. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it being a mini break from kind of the craziness of the MLS league. I mean, this is a final, so it's very important, as are the games in the league uh, from here on out. But it's nice to have something a little bit different. Yes, it's another game in the middle of a very congested schedule, but I think it's going to be a party. I think it's going to be a blast. So I'm really looking forward to it. Let's dive right in, like Jose did with his announcement that he'll be at the game, even though we announced it last video. So it's not like it's that big of a deal. So let's dive right in. I think everything really circles around the availability of these guys and how we think that that's going to roll out his lineup. Is Messi in the starting lineup? How does that affect the rest of the players that he rolls out there? Is Busquets in the lineup? Same thing with him. And if Alba doesn't play, are we going to see a back five if he's not there? Are we going to see a back four if he's not there? So let's go under the assumption that Messi starts. Who else do you guys see out in the starting lineup alongside him?
Obviously, it's Facu. Facu is going to be out there. That's a given, in my opinion. I think Campana is a sure given as well. We keep saying it episode after episode. Martinez doesn't have it. He's not the guy that we need out there. Tata, for some reason, keeps rolling him out, but he's just hard-headed with it at this point. But I don't think he sees. He might see the end of this match. He's not going to see many minutes in the beginning. It's definitely a Campana, Facu, Messi type of match. Do we see Robert Taylor, Jose's best friend? Probably. I think
he
we do
wishes
as well.
he gets to see him live.
Oh, he's gonna be one of the guys taking off his shirt, Robert Taylor on it. It's gonna be a beautiful sight.
I'm gonna take video. When I take videos of the matches, I'm gonna put a clown face every time he pops into my video. That's what I'm gonna do.
You're gonna make him score. He's gonna score a brace just because of that, and you're gonna have to put the clown face on him as he's scoring his brace.
Or you're gonna have to turn the camera to yourself and put the clown face on yourself.
That's more likely. No, I mean, if that happens, we don't be happy, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
You sure would.
Yeah, I think Robert Taylor has to start as well. It'll be interesting to see what Tata does with him, Facu starting as well. It's usually on the left. If he does play him as that attacking mid position. So there's a lot of pieces that we're going to be seeing being moved around that Messi's hopefully back. It's going to be really interesting to see what he does as far as the formation goes and the starting players around Messi go.
I don't think we're going to see Robert Taylor as a starter. I think we'll do what we've been most comfortable with, 5 in the back. If Alba plays, for sure, I think 5 in the back is an easy tell. But I think even if Alba's not back, I think we still might do 5 in the back just because of what Messi does bring. However, I don't see Robert Taylor starting because I do expect Campana to be the striker, and then we'll have Facundo Farias at left wing and Messi at right wing to start the game. So I don't think that Tata will deploy Robert Taylor as a center, as a midfield to start the game. I just don't think that's the right move, and I don't think he'll do that. He only starts him out of position if he's going to be a right wing back for some reason. But no, I think that's going to be the starting group that we'll see, and then we'll be a little more defensive in the midfield. But with that three-headed potent attack, I think that'll be very good. I also think we'll see Kremaski come off the bench. I don't think there's any way that we'll see Kremaski start. I know earlier in the season I always push for Kremaski to start, because I like that early momentum. But that was before we were really incorporating Farias into the attack, and now that we have a little more options, let's give Kremaski some rest. I'm not saying to not play him at all, but he was a little bit hampered by a fitness issue. So hopefully he'll get his legs underneath him, and then we can put him in the last 20-30 minutes, and he can just go all out and run like a baby giraffe.
By the way, I wasn't saying Robert Taylor to start in the middle. I was saying to start him left and put Facu in the middle as an attacking mid, not Robert Taylor. I think you misunderstood.
The thing is that what's funny, like Kremaski had his worst game with us, but I still trust him to man that middle more so than any of those guys. Because just because he seems to get what Facu is doing, he seems to get what Messi's trying to do. He doesn't understand what what Robert Taylor's trying to do, but nobody does. But maybe if we put Kramaski in the middle, we have on the Messi on the right side, Facu on the top, and then Campana on the top. That would be a beautiful attack. Just those four working together, you know, they're intertwined perfectly. And then you put maybe four in the back instead of five, and just don't have the wings fly up like we usually have them doing it. You know, I mean, they don't have a necessarily a full on attack that we haven't seen before, right? When we played LAFC, okay, they were much scarier on offense. This team is not LAFC. What this team does have though is that they have a very good midfield. Okay, Hector Herrera, he's the engine that pulls this team to to the attack. Then you have the Argentine. What was the one you were telling me about? I'm throwing it to Julio. Go ahead.
I got no idea who you're talking about.
There is a.
You're on your own.
Okay, well, they have him too. So it was
So you go for doing these things.
It was
You're talking about the Panamanian?
Yeah, it was
Adalberto Carrasquilla.
Adalberto, yes, that's the one. Yeah, so those two are extremely good. At keeping them. But yeah, they're both very good at keeping the ball on their side. So as you know, it's gonna be a possession battle. They did very well when they played Vancouver. They killed them. And we saw that game. That was not a fun game to watch for Vancouver fans. But ultimately, as long as we keep it more on our side, we shouldn't have an issue with them.
How much possession do we need to avoid an issue?
They have I think Julio mentioned the 65%. He mentioned it for sure. It was about 65%, and that's what they had to just dominate that game. So if we keep it over 60% like we normally do, honestly, I said that's more our game anyways, right? We put Sergio Busquets there, we put Arroyo, we keep the defense flowing, but we keep the ball on their side at all times. That's 60%, and it should be no issue to do that against this team. It's just a matter of beating them in the midfield where that's their strength, which is funny. I don't know how many teams we've actually played where I would think that, right? Where there's other teams that were like, oh, they're very strong defensively, oh, they're very strong offensively, but these people are kind of
maybe Atlanta,
and
that didn't go well.
Well, there you go.
So
that's a whole other animal, though.
Atlanta may have been better.
Yeah, well, their attack was much more potent than Houston's. To the point of Kramaski, him starting or not starting is more about the energy he exerted against Orlando. He was cramping up at the end. He was all over the place. It wasn't his best game, but he was running everywhere. I think that's more the point that Dave was getting at. He does, however, play really well when Messi's on the pitch. Most players do, but he understands how to sort of work the spaces when Messi's also in, which benefits him tremendously. And he's able to be more of a playmaker when Messi's on the pitch, in addition to being dangerous himself. I actually would be interested to see if Tata goes with something a little bit different. I'm under the impression that he knows that Houston is, I want to call them inferior opposition, but very open. They have a lot of, they have a lot of vulnerabilities, and I would be really interested to see him go with almost like a 4-2-3-1 or maybe a 4-2-4, where he has Farias and Campana as the de facto strikers. He has Messi and Robert Taylor as, kind of attacking midfielders or wingers, if you want to call them. And then in the midfield have a double pivot of Busquets and Arroyo. And then the back line can be some combination of Allen, Yedlin, and then the middle, Toto and Christoph, or Miller and Christoph, Miller and Aviles. But I think that Tata likes being very aggressive. And to the point of them having a strong midfield, why not have 5 midfielders in the game with Arroyo, Busquets, Farias, Messi, and Taylor all there to have numbers in midfield with Campana as the outlet up top, and then have it be like we play very often, where it's very liquid. It's Messi goes up with Campana, or Farias goes up with Campana. Campana drops in, and Messi and Farias go up. I think it gives a lot of flexibility, and like I said, Tata likes being very aggressive. To me, that would be something that would be very interesting. You have some high motor guys with Taylor and Farias. Messi obviously is going to do his thing and, take it easy on defense, if you want to call it that, but be the most dangerous player on the pitch at all times. So to me, that would be something that is worth considering. We don't know if Messi's going to start, so that changes the math. If he doesn't, that changes the flexibility that Tata has. But if Messi starts, I would love to see something like that to really get after the match early.
Yeah, I was actually going to mention something like that too, Julio, because I would like to see that formation. I think we have good personnel for that formation, that sort of 4-2-3-1 type of look. But my only thing with that is that I don't think we've seen Tata really mess around that much with that. Last match was probably the most he's messed around as far as personnel goes.
No choice.
But for the most part, he's no choice. But for the most part, he's very strict to what he sticks to, So that's the only reason I would say he's not going to do that. He's probably going to stick to something that's just not vanilla, but what we're used to seeing from him. That's my only rebuttal to that.
Be careful what you wish for. You ask for two strikers, you're doubling your chances of getting Joseph Martinez out there starting the match. So
we know
be careful.
I mostly want to see a 4-2-3-1, which is what we saw actually against Kansas City for I would say most of the first half. I thought it worked pretty well. It was without Messi, so it was Stefanelli and Robinson, and I don't remember who the other, Farias actually. So that's sort of what is guiding me in that kind of random prediction of a formation. If Campana's in, it's okay if Joseph is in. It's not the best case scenario in my opinion, but it's okay. If Joseph is the only striker, we got big issues. But like I said, I think it would be something to consider if Messi's starting, because it gives us a lot of chances to overwhelm Houston's defense and midfield, and it lets us match up really well to their midfield. They do have very savvy midfielders. Ache is, he's I don't know, 37, 36 years old. Like he's up in the same age as some of our super veterans. And he understands the occasion. I don't think the lights will be too bright for him. He's played against Messi before. He used to play for Atletico de Madrid. He's not going to be starstruck. However, he might be one of the few on Houston that are not starstruck by the occasion. Drive Tank Stadium is not the most intimidating place to go play, but facing up 33, there you go. Super old, just like me. So going up against Messi, that is a way to be very starstruck. Like I said, Ache may not be in awe because he's faced him before, but some of these other guys have no idea what they're going into. We've seen it time and time again, especially early on in the Leagues Cup. The first time opponents play us, they got completely overwhelmed by the situation, and they were at a huge disadvantage because of it. I think it's very possible we see something very similar with Houston.
And add in the added pressure of it being a cup final. So, and that's the other thing that we know Messi's been in these big situations before, and I expect him to elevate this group even further. I think that's why I'm so confident going into this game. I just think it's the perfect storm for us and the worst, the worst storm possible for Houston.
Well, think about it. The last time that we got up for a match, when was it? LAFC. That was a time that we were like, we need this one going into the international break. All these guys are going to be out, right? That was a game where I thought there was a lot of hype. That it wasn't just a game, and we were kind of not knowing what we were going to expect. These guys came out firing. I just don't see any other way that they'll be playing going into the game. I expect them to come out firing. Now I'm gonna tell you the devil's advocate here. If we come out and we're flat, that says a lot. Also, that says that maybe we are underestimating how tired and how hurt they are, right? Because if they come out flat, everything you just said, David, makes total sense. But like if Messi, the best player in the world, wants to play and wants to win something, you almost expect to see brilliant, like some brilliant play, correct? If we come out, we don't see that. At that point, I'm worried. I flip the switch. Like, okay, that's a little scary because I'm seeing all the film that we've watched. I don't see how we don't beat this team.
Yeah, like I think we already mentioned it a little while ago. So, and Julio actually alluded to Kansas City with the formation play. So I equate this team a lot to Kansas City. They're similar as far as they're a little better on attack than defense. They're still not great at anything. They're very average, run of the mill type of team. So even if Messi's not having a great game or Messi has to be subbed out early or whatever, I still think the young guys that we have, the young talent that we have, the new Miami, besides the big three that we know we have, I think they could still, without an issue, beat this team. So yes, obviously Messi's a big deal. Messi is the engine of this team, but if he for some reason has a down game or if he truly is hurt and he can't have one of those games, I still think we'll be fine. I think we'll find a way. The young guys around us will find a way to carry this team over.
We beat the best team in this bracket already, right? Going into this game, we had to beat Cincinnati. So we did it on his back, right? Now, looking forward, I totally agree. Like this team, we should be able to handle with a Facu brilliant game or a Campana brilliant game. Just that alone, and we have a lot of firepower all around. I would even throw Robert Taylor, and once in a while, he just out of nowhere just firecracks. He falls on 2 goals out of nowhere every 5 games, but you never know. Maybe that's the game. Maybe this is the game.
Hey, did you know that Houston has a horrible away record? You're saying that they're not going into a very scary place as far as Drive Pink is. They're a 2-9-4 record. That's pretty bad.
2-4-9.
2-9-4 is what I'm looking at on the website.
Okay.
Yeah. 2-9-4. Not
what
good.
Is the 9? Losses or ties?
Losses.
Do you have any more? Yeah. Do you have any more? Did you know or no?
No, that's my did you know because Julio was saying they're going into.
Did you know, Christopher, that the Dynamo averaged 12.8 fouls and 2.56 yellows per game? How about that? What do you what can you predict that will happen in this game with that?
A Messi free kick goal.
That's what I'm thinking. And that's kind of what their players were actually talking about going into this game. They were actually worried about if they're fouling, like they're always prone to foul. You're like, let's keep this guy apart. Let's keep these guys away from the goal. Let's foul them as far away as possible because this guy's gonna put us on a highlight reel, on our highlight reel.
Set pieces can be really the defining moment for either team. Ache, who we've already mentioned, is a very good free kick taker. Around the box, he can put it on frame. He can score directly off of the kicks, and he can also throw it into the blender. He's very good at putting the ball in a very dangerous place off a set piece. So that's something that we need to be careful of on the other side of the pitch. Obviously, if Messi is able to step up to a free kick, that's a danger opportunity no matter what. Chris, it's so funny that you did a did you know rolling into the home and away split because I literally was about to talk about that with a did you know. So just to reiterate, they're one of the worst teams in the league playing away. They have only 2 wins, they have 9 losses, and the goal split is 11 goals scored in 15 matches away and 25 conceded.
That's some good did you know right there.
That's a good did you know. That's why I give kudos to Chris for saying it. He really jumped me on it, and I'm having to reiterate it because I was so excited to bring it up. They've made their money at home. They've made their money at home. At home, they're one of the best teams in the league, but this ain't gonna be in Houston.
I was gonna ask, where's this game?
That's right, not in Houston. It's in Fort Lauderdale. So I think there's 2 ways this plays out in my mind. Either we're able to score an early goal and Houston's just dead in the water within 15 minutes, or they're able to do what Nashville did to us in the second game we played Nashville, where they sit in a low block, really frustrate us, and as time goes on, Houston becomes more confident that they have a chance to win this match, and we become more frustrated that none of our attacks have really led to much, and we have very few shots on target. We have to settle for shots outside of the box, and that's maybe the only thing that I'm worried about is that they're able to muck it up and be successful in doing it. I don't know if they have the personnel to do it. I don't know if they have the form away from home to do it, but that might be a strategy that they try to employ as a way to counteract how potent we can be on offense.
The lower block, that's been our Achilles heel for a lot of these games. But I don't know if they're that type of team. That's not what I've seen.
Yeah, I think that's the only. Realistically, I think that's the only tactic that may allow them to have a chance, or like a realistic chance. They can try to go toe to toe with us, but we just have too many pieces in attack that I think we would overwhelm them in a match that's played in an open way. Even without the big three against Orlando, we played pretty open, and yes, Orlando had a lot of opportunities, but we looked pretty good without our most technically skilled players, perhaps. Even Facu wasn't on the pitch for most of that match. So you have to consider that when, I don't know, like we're just very dangerous in attack. We say it every match, regardless of who's missing, we're a good attacking team. It's our defense that has the deficiencies, but in attack, I have no qualm saying that we could score 2-3 goals.
If you guys can pick two players to play in this game with Sergio Messi and Alba, who would it be?
Robert Taylor.
No.
Campana.
Okay.
And I mean, I'm not going to say Facu because I'm sure Dave or Chris want to say Facu, but I guess I'll say I kind of want to see Kremaski with Messi. I don't think he starts, but getting 30 minutes out on the pitch to see the game out, maybe create like the late goal that sort of puts it away and makes it 3-1 or 3-0. Campana has to be my guy, but maybe Kremaski.
I would love to see episode 2 of David Reese in place of Kremaski. Kremaski's, we're saying he's probably not going to start. He's fatigued or whatever. So if he doesn't start, I want to see David Reese start for him. I think him, Facu, Messi up there. I think it'll be a nice little trio there in the middle to replace Kremaski. I think he has a good skill set to replace Kremaski. And he also brings, we mentioned in the last episode, he also brings a little bit of that defensive hustle as well to the pitch. So, yeah, I think David Reese would be a nice addition to that starting lineup.
Yeah, I know Facu's the easy answer here, but a big reason why it's such a compelling case to look at is we've seen Facu and Messi, but it wasn't this level of Facu that we have now. We got Facu, who's just being incorporated into the team when Messi was really hitting his stride, and then Messi kind of came off, and that kind of forced Facu to really gain strength under his legs and develop and under his own, and we've seen that creativity and what he brings to the table. And like we said, he kind of fills that Messi role. How fantastic is it going to be to have both of them on the pitch? If Messi is close to anywhere near 100%, how cool is that going to be that we have two options to really create? And I think that only makes Campana that much more dangerous because they can just do so much on the ball that it's just going to be really fun, and it's a new wrinkle that we haven't seen this team really utilize. So I'm excited to see Facu and Messi kind of be in the middle and really if their goal is to muck it up, I think that's going to be a huge deal with breaking that muck. They're going to be able to really create a lot, just the two of them, and it's going to be hard to really just collapse on one person when you have multiple people creating. So I think that Facu, if they both start, is going to be really, really interesting to watch.
Jose, who are you looking out for?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. No, I'm looking. I was actually going to say David Ruiz. I was interested the way that he elevated his play in the last game, and he was actually like playing in the wing very nicely, very calmly within the game, not necessarily doing too much. Because we, what was the issue that we always had with David Ruiz before? His issue was that he was kind of like a ball stopper. It got to him, and it was just like there was no more liquid football. No, there's no more total football. It was just it got to him. He went to the right side, all the way to the corner, and I don't know what happened. They would always go out of bounds. And so that guy didn't like him. Like, he's a good player, but he's also very young, so it's expected from him. Whereas when Robert Taylor does it, it's almost like, dude, you're kind of expecting you're a veteran here. Like, you're kind of expecting more from you, right? You've been here, you've done that. Like come on, like play within the offense. It's not hard. There's two guys open in the middle, and then the Orlando game. God forbid, pass it right there. No, all right, I'm not gonna talk about it. No, so David Ruiz, I'm looking forward to seeing him. I'm interested to see what they do with Christoph, or they do Toto Aviles. That's an interesting switch off, because I do like what Aviles has been bringing to the table. He's lungy, like we always talk about. But he's very youthful. He's constantly he's everywhere in the backfield. We don't really notice anything other than when he misses, right? But that's obviously with any defender. But he's pretty good for a young player. He's got a long runway ahead of him. Christoph, we know what we're going to get with him. He's very stable. Actually, Sailor didn't do so bad in the last game either. We have a few guys that we can switch up back there, which I like.
You're pulling a me with your voice.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Speaking of Christoph, he so I think we all thought, or I thought at least, he got a concussion last game. It was actually migraines that he was suffering from. So that's interesting. It sucks, but it's refreshing to know that he's going to be available. It's not a concussion that he might not play, in such a short turnaround window. So those migraines, he should be available for tomorrow. Just an update on that one.
I think if we go two center backs, I think you kind of have to start Toto Aviles just because of his style of play. I don't want to have him sub on as a replacement, and then he gets a big issue, and he either gets if he gets a yellow when he's subbed on, then what do you do at that point? You don't want to sub him off, or you can't really count on him to kind of play less aggressive. We've seen that now. So I think that the best play might be to have Toto out there to start the match, because it's easier to come off of him at that point than if you have him as the sub and then he gets himself into issues with fouls. So that's the one thing. So I and maybe they do start Miller. If they go with two, I think it might be Miller and Toto, and then have Christoph come off as the sub, just to give him a little bit of a rest from apparently the migraines.
Like, I like our center backs, and so like in that alone, I like them. We have three guys that we can trust right back there. What I always worry about now with Alba being out, that if he's out, I don't want to be out. Let's say he is out, and we have to trust Noah Allen to all of a sudden be. He's not going to take on the Alba role. We know this. So it's you're almost forced to play the 4-man back with him, because you're like, what's the point? We're not utilizing that at all. And even when he goes up, it's another turnover waiting to happen. It just is what it is. I haven't seen him do very good plays ever on offense. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what are we doing there? So that's my idea, David, with the 4-man back.
So I want to talk about our predictions, but I have add-on questions to our normal prediction. So I'm going to ask you guys three things followed by your score prediction. I want to know if you guys think Alba's going to play, and then if you think he's going to play, if he's going to start or come off the bench. How many goal-saving saves will Drake Callender make? And when I say goal-saving, I mean not just a shot on target, but a shot that you would otherwise expect to go in, that he makes sort of like an incredible, headstand sort of save. And then the third question is, how early do we score?
And fourth question, does Messi, if he scores, what superhero is he going to do?
Sure.
Try to remember all those questions. Go, Chris.
Try to remember Marvel superheroes this time.
I'm not gonna do it. I don't care.
It's your question. What do you mean you're not
So-
going
I
to
don't
do
know
it?
I don't know. I'm gonna do my own superheroes. Go ahead, Chris. Ask your 4 questions.
All right. So, does Alba play? I don't think he plays. There's been a lot of uncertainty. We haven't really seen anything. We obviously saw the Messi news that he's training and that he's most likely gonna play. But Alba's it's been kind of secretive, so I don't think he plays. There's something going on that they're not saying, and he's not gonna be able to make the match tomorrow. So that's my thing. Alba doesn't play. Second, Calendar. My boy Calendar. He's going to make 3 game-saving goals tomorrow. 3.
That's stressful.
Very stressful. It always is. 3 game-saving goals. Yeah, and I trust him. Unlike Jose, I trust him. And what was your third question? I'm sorry, I forgot already.
Just time of goal.
Oh, time of goal. Time of goal. I don't trust this defense, the Houston defense. Let's go with 17 minutes. First goal.
Is that
So,
with Messi?
and-
Is that with Messi starting or without him starting, or does it matter?
With or without, doesn't matter. I don't trust his defense, with or without. And it's gonna be Facu.
There's so many
Book it.
caveats to all of these, all of these
Book it.
predictions. You're gonna have to repeat them when it's my turn because I don't remember.
That's fine. Luckily we're on video, right? And so final prediction. Oh, actually, Jose's 4th question. I'm not gonna change my Marvel character. It has to be Doctor Strange. He has to do the cool little mystical thing, Predictions. Let's do a 4-1 Miami win. Miami blows them out of the water. We get our 2nd trophy. This defense, Houston defense, is not good. Their attack is not much better. Run-of-the-mill average team. We're going to blow them out of the water. Book it.
It's my turn.
It's your turn, Chris. David, go ahead.
Let's go, Dave Stradamus.
Dave Stradamus here. Bengals won, so you know the helmet's really going to work really well today. All right. Feed me the questions again because that was a whole
Does
lot.
Jordi Alba play? If so, does he start?
Jordi Alba is not going to play at all. He's been trending to not play. I think he has a serious injury. Not season-ending serious, but I think that he's going to miss a few fixtures. I would be surprised if he's even available for the next one.
Calendar saves.
He's going to have one real dangerous save. I don't think these guys are going to put too many balls on target.
Speaking of balls on
Did
target,
you know that's their best stat that they have? Shots on target.
Yeah, but not dangerous
Yes.
balls on target. If the ball's just going to go to him and he has to catch it, like I'm not considering that to be a save. Like the way Julio described it, like I'm talking about him diving for a
we're
ball.
talking about an incredible save.
Chris, incredible stat.
I just wanted to throw a Did you know in there and interrupt you.
That was a perfect one. Go ahead.
Continue.
So speaking of balls on target,
Well,
time of the first goal.
I think our first goal is going to be in the 21st minute.
Okay, and then finals. Oh no, Marvel. I'm sorry. Excuse me, Jose. Marvel celebration.
So I had said the Incredible Hulk last time. I'm going to change it up. I think that he's going to go with Iron Man. I don't think that he's done Iron Man, and that's who started the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I think he'll put like his hands down, like he's flying around. I think he's going to go Iron Man.
He's gonna do the waddle essentially.
Basically, and Dolphins fans are going to flip out, and then he's going to have to say, "Que miras, bobo? It's Iron Man."
And then final score prediction.
3-0. Clean sheet. Jose's going to have to praise Calendar, and Messi gets a brace.
All right, Jose.
I predict Alba plays. I think the one thing that our feeder program in Barcelona has taught these guys is that they have to get up for these finals games, and these games don't come often. And when you do, you got a all hands on deck moment, and it's time to check your pulse. About that for a Dolphin quote. The next one is I think it's going to be two game scoring plays. He's going to flail on one of them and let it go right underneath his legs. The other one is going to be, I think it's a 20-minute goal. In the first one, it's going to be very, very feeling out, just feeling each other out, not trying to put too much, just passing it around, trying to see where you're going to get, and then wham, it's going to be a Messi goal in the 20th minute. I said Marvel, but I changed it up. I think it's going to be Power Rangers, just the whole, little Power Rangers right there, bam. Christian Wilkins, another quote for the Dolphins. Enjoy. What's the score? I think it's going to be 3-1. It's going to be very comfortable. I'm going to be having some nice beverages in the stands. It's going to be very nice. Yeah, and we're going to see another trophy race in the span of what's it been, a month, 2 months? Sad.
What beverage are you going to be drinking?
I don't know. I've never really enjoyed a trophy celebration, so I want to kind of see how it goes. Let's see. I'm thinking having some a nice beer. I'm looking for some craft beers and see what they got.
Crafty. So I think that Jordi Alba will not play. Then what's next? Drake Callender makes one incredible save on an Ache free kick. That's appearing to go to the top corner, but Callender gets a glove to it. Then time of first goal, I'm going to go with the 27th minute. Campana, of course, opens the scoring. Marvel celebration will be... I keep wanting to say Ant-Man, but there's like no prototypical Ant-Man thing.
He just shrinks.
Yeah.
Maybe like a Pulga Man.
Pulga Man, perfect. Yeah, he'll do the Pulga Man. And then final score, the cocky Inter Miami fan in me wants to come out and say 5-1.
Yeah, that'd be glorious.
Let him out.
I'm going to say 5-1 with a Campana hat trick.
Ooh, wow. Spicy.
Wow. That doesn't count, by the way, for the Golden Boot.
I know. I don't want to go back on that, but it's not looking good.
Yeah, that thing. It's quite the spicy take.
Oh God. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this match. Like I said at the beginning, it's a nice little break from the MLS league. It's going to be just a party atmosphere. I anticipate a lot of goals, obviously, based on my prediction, but I anticipated the second that first goal goes in, if Messi's starting, it's going to be just like crazy whenever he's on the ball. It's going to be awesome, man. We haven't seen him in close to a month, really. And it's going to be a raucous atmosphere, I think. Jose will be a part of it.
I'm excited.
So, yeah, we'll see how it plays out. I fully expect Miami to lift their second trophy of the season, and we will be here live with our match reaction on Wednesday with the champagne bottles and pots and pans as always. And we hope you'll join us. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, have notifications turned on so that you're made aware when we go live. Follow us on Twitter at the Heron Heads so that you can get live match updates and all that good stuff. And I think from all of us at the Heron Heads, thanks so much for tuning in. Your first place for all things Inter Miami. We'll catch you on Wednesday after Inter Miami lift their second trophy of the season.